Thank you for swinging by to see us today. This is Xenu speaking, and I wanted to introduce my buddy, my pal. See him over my shoulder, kind of with the little fingers out, and his antennas. That's actually Hubbard. That's how he looks these days. He's diminished dramatically, and that's what actually happens when you, in his language, when you commit enough overs or bad deeds, you shrink down. You can see he's shrunk down a great deal. So we're trying to feed him and get him a little bit better, but in the meantime, he's kind of just lurking around up here. So I decided I'd kind of clear up a few things for people. Many people have heard this story that Hubbard has sold millions of people, not millions, but thousands. Actually, I don't even know if it's thousands, but I think it is at 8,000. But it's too many about me, Xenu, saying that this whole story about 75 million years ago, I killed all these people and locked them up in a volcano and blew them up and blah, blah, blah. You can read about it on the internet. But I'm here to clear up the facts. Okay, first of all, where did I meet Hubbard? I met him at a sex orgy in Pasadena. I live in Glendale. Okay, that's my real home. This is just a little phony background that I've got. But that's really about how Ron looks these days. So I met him at a sex orgy, and nobody was interested in him. So I said, well, you know what, pal? You've got to come up with something a little bit jazzier, right? You know, you're just kind of a fat guy, and girls like, something exciting. So you could tell him you've got, excuse me, these extraterrestrial powers, right? And their problems are all, and we were thinking, let's see, what could we do? And Ron was a big believer in Satan, right? But he had this lisp, so he called it Phaeton, right? It was very fun. So I said, okay, well, let's say you could handle all their problems because of these Thetans, right? And he said, well, we don't want Thetans because I'm going to use that as the spirit. That's what I'm going to say it is. And I said, okay, well, body Thetans, we'll say that. That's a great idea. Okay, so he went around trying to talk to these girls, saying, I could help you. Your problems are because of these body Thetans. And you know what? People started glooming on to it. They thought it was kind of a possibility. It could be. Isn't really, but it sounded good. So immediately Ron was really big on, if he wanted to make money, start a religion, right? So he started his little religion, Scientology, and because my name's Xenu, he made up this whole story about me that I'm actually kind of ticked off about because it's totally not true. I've never blown anybody up, and I wouldn't kill people anyway. It's a stupid story. But he made it up, and he started selling it, and we had a little bet on it. I said, oh, nobody's going to buy that crap. Come on. You know I live in Glendale. For Christ's sake, they can come over and meet me. And he said, no, shh, we'll make it confidential. No one will ever know the truth. And you're from TGAC. We'll make it that. And he said, it'll be just like Earth, right? And he just kept creating a bigger and bigger story. So then he came up with these clusters of BTs, which is people who had the same incident, which again, he was having these little sexual encounters, or trying to. Wasn't really working out. So he was saying, well, that's because you've got a cluster of BTs around you. It was sort of his little way of making everything right around him. If there was any problem, he would say it was because of these BTs or clusters that were bugging him or anyone else. Then he packaged it and he started selling it. I think it was $1,500 the first time he sold it. It was kind of a joke between he and I. Would anybody really buy this crap? But you know what they did? They wrote a damn check, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to call this OT3, right? Which was his big operating Satan, but he couldn't say Satan, so he said Phaeton with a lisp, operating Phaeton 3. And that was really how he started Scientology, the upper levels, which was again a joke between he and I, because of course the lower levels didn't really work too well. So we said, well, let's create some top secret upper levels, and I'll be the star. But then, of course, I live in Glendale, so then it was like, well, what will happen now? What if they run into us? And he said, no, I know, let's see, we could have you, and I said, I got it. Say I'm locked up in a mountain with electronic traps, and so I'm held there forever. We both thought that was pretty clever, so he threw that in too. So he's basically just ripped off this story I gave to him and sold it, and now he's charging a fortune, or at least David Miscavige's, for these stupid levels. And of course most people have left, but some knuckleheads are still there buying it. So there you go. Look at Ronnie. You know, he had his theory. If you commit enough overs, you're going to pull in what he called motivators, meaning things that'll screw you up. It's sort of like karma, only it's his own little repackaging of karma. So you can see there, see him behind me on my shoulder, over my right shoulder. It's on your left side of the screen. You can see old Elron, there he is with the little target on him. That's because people have been shooting him for some time. He's got a lot of people ticked off at him because he's sold all this stupid stuff that doesn't work. And now he's not giving people back their money, and now he pretended he died when he's really just lurking here in Glendale, California, in my backyard. That's where he is. So that's the story of Elron Hubbard, Xenu, and OT3. I thought you all deserve a true facts about it. I may have a little bit more about it in the future, but that's enough for right now. And for any of you knuckleheads that are staying in Scientology, please, come on, use your head, man. Think about it. Look at me. Look at me. Wait, let me get this closer. Look at me. Come on, man. Snap out of it. And if you want to swing by, I'm near the Glendale Galleria. All right, there you go. Cheerio. Have a wonderful day. And I'll tell Ron you all said hi. Bye-bye.